Just give a high level. So in the filters, along with the filters, yesterday we have seen some new topic. What is that called? Selection steps. So what is one of the new, if anybody asking, what is one of the new feature in OBIEE? There are many things we discussed. One is multiple subject areas joining and logical skill, creation of the report from logical skill. And those are all just for namesake, but one of the useful features which is that selection steps. Selection steps will do the filtering after post calculation, whereas filters, the difference on the filter and selection step is filter will do the filtration before your data comes into the report, and selection steps will do the filtration post calculation. So that's why yesterday I showed you one calculation. And if you want to remember, it is very different. In case if anybody asking about a question or any anything related to selection steps, just try to remember this example. Say now I'll just give one very basic example. So now I have a department number column and total salary. So department 10 is, and in the department 10, the total salary is, let's say 450. And department 20, the total salary is 560. And department 30, the total salary is, let's say 120. These are the three different we have, departments we have, and this is their individual total. So now here I want to create, or I want to show a report which is total salary. What is this? It is a level based measure, 1130. So if you create a report, you will get a report. This is not a challenge. But if I ask you, I want to see only data for department number. I want to see only department number 10. If you use filter, what happens? Now this is the report I want. Okay, in this report I am asking, I want to see only data for department number 10. If you use a filter, what happens? I will keep a filter, department number equal to 10. What happens? Using filter, okay, where department number then what will be your output if you use a filter and if you keep department number equal 10, your output will be looking like this. Means as I told, filter will filter the data before the calculation. It will go as a where condition. If you want to compare it with Oracle, filter is nothing but a where condition. Okay, you are applying a where condition. But here, since you are looking, means where condition will go and pick up only department number 10 records, okay, from the back side. So you will get only data for department number 10. But if I need a requirement like this, okay, I want to see, I want this kind of calculation. So in what is this one? It is a overall entire organization data. Okay, and why I need is I want to calculate what is the total salary in department 10 and how much of this department 10 salary is in when it comes to the percentage calculation, how much this will be the percentage in overall the total salary. So this minus this and then divide by the overall, I'll get some percentage. So that will not be possible with this. Okay, so if I use selection step, if I use selection step in case, okay, your output will be looking like this. So if you want to know what is the filter and selection step, just remember this output. Any related this kind of question, you should be in a position to answer because it is overall and this is a total. Internally, it will filter the data and then this will do it to overall level. Okay, so you can understand easily by this number because they are the very basic example. If you want to do another very basic understand, it is like having kind of thing. Your selection step is nothing but having. Okay, but generally having will be given only summarized columns only. When you use having, let's say having count star greater than 1, having sum of this greater than 1. But in having, we cannot keep department number, having department number equal to 10, we cannot give it. So that's why it is kind of, but not 100% having. Because I am keeping a filter, I am putting a selection step after that one. So that's why it is called a selection step. This is one very good. In the older version, this used to be a tough question to answer, okay, complex report. Because this, since in the OBIEE 10G we don't have any the selection steps. If you want to do, we used to do it in a different way. First calculate and then match it, and lot of things used to be done. Okay, in the same way, I'll show it again once. If you want to see a result of a clear output or a real feel of how, you try to create some level based measure here. So this is giving overall sum. Now I want to see only this company data or a particular office. Anything you can choose whatever you want. So if I use a filter, we have seen already this sum will go down straight to that because you are applying a filter means it will pick up only that particular company details and then sum up what is it. So when it is summing up, since we have only this company data, so whatever you see is not actually the overall one because filter will go before and then filter the data and once comes here and then calculating. But selection step, okay, this you can see only since it is completely analytics purpose. Selection steps are completely for analytics purpose, and this option you can see in the bottom here. Okay, you can select. Okay, so now start with all members. So when you go here, so on what column, what kind of thing. So right now it will show up all your values, Genmind Corporation. Okay, so now I'll show. I'm selecting, so this one, and if I select these two, you will see data only for this one. Okay, once it is showing this office wise data, okay, if you want to, you can save here in here itself, and then if you want to do anything, so then next step, okay, after that what you want to do. So now I'm selecting two companies data, then what next you want? Add groups or calculated items, apply a condition. So now here itself you can apply a condition. what kind of condition I want. Okay, I want to put a condition. So within that also, this is not at the report level. Anything which I do in selection steps, it will be on top of the report. Your report, you already got the data. On that, you are doing analysis, some analysis. Okay, for the users, it is a best advantage. Total revenue, okay, is less than, okay, some number. So it will show the data one by one, whatever format you want. Okay, so now if you see, first it is showing GenMind Corporation and this one, because I have selected these two. Start with GenMind Corporation. So two things I have selected here. Then add members of this, where this equal to this means they are trying to add everything, whoever satisfies that condition. So now it is adding this member, okay, whatever is satisfying here. So that way you can start. And in case you want, let's say, if you want to make it clear, I'll do this way. So now this is a GenMind. Okay, this is individual GenMind Corporation. What is the total? Now, after this, I am going here, office, company, and the department columns are there. If you want to put anything on department, you can do. But right now, what I am doing here, then I am going to the next step here. Okay, add groups or calculated items. You'll see, just see what I am doing. I am selecting new group. Okay, and for this, I am giving a group. So here I am selecting GenMind, also stock. Okay, you can see what is doing right now. And you got any difference here? Got anything more? So this is only GenMind 1, 2, 3. It is purely GenMind. But next, what I have done, I have combined GenMind and stock into both one together. And then within that GenMind, so it has created a new group with a combination of GenMind and stock. And then putting both together, okay, what is that? So now this has both GenMind and, so say for example, sometimes I want to see, we have, it is like, I want to see every student subject wise marks. Then I want to see only in mathematics and science putting together what is the total marks. Then I want to see in languages, okay, whatever first, second, third languages, only these three languages, what is the total marks of the student. Individual you can select, and then also in the runtime, in the report itself, you can create a group. You can create. If you don't have this, still we can do, but you need to write case statements. Again, it is become complex. So this way you can create groups, new groups. By default, when you select a column here, it will show like it is like an exam. Now, if you want to see this example here, so this is very basic report. So now what I have done is, I want to see department 10. We have selected here. Apart from this, department 10 could be putting together how much? So now here I have calculated 10 underscore 20. Means I'm creating a new group. So 10 underscore 20. In that what I have selected? So these two I have selected. So what is the total here? 1011. How much? And anyway, this is, you see, since it is almost your after report coming, we are calculating here. Okay, it is taking that and it is summing up double. Because now after reporting comes, so you are added that this is 226. Generally, in these cases, okay, this will not, it will give a wrong representation, but we have chosen to use them. But you can ignore this column, or you can use in case you want it. Okay, so this way you can create. This is also new. You can create new groups. You can create a new calculated items. These are all new features. One is selection steps is one new feature. New groups. Okay, so this is very easy, but at least you should know that. Okay, what are the new features? Means one of the good feature you can talk about this in an interview if anybody asks. So in the same way, if you want to do any other thing, so now if you want to keep anything on top of department column, okay, still you can go and say if you are looking anything to be filtered on the department. So I want to see only these departments. So within that you are putting only 2 department number. Okay, you have given a condition to only show some departments, so it is showing only those departments. So like this you can go and create any kind of if you want to, okay, start with group or calculated item. Okay, you can also see if you have any already saved one. Okay, here also we have a saved button. If you can save it, in case you have saved them, in the next time any other report you can use it, or you can use it again. So this is one good feature. You can just go and explore it. You'll get all these things for it. In the same way, if you come here before jump into other topic, if you go top for every report whenever you create, you'll get lot of options here. Okay, so this hide show selection step, this button will help you to hide or unhide. In case in the report if you don't see this selection step, you try to click here again. Generally it is available in the bottom of the report. Okay, and then this one we will next session is only talking layout, so that anyway we'll discuss later. So ignore this compound layout, and this is also the layout related. This is also layout related. Will be next session we'll be talking. And import formatting from other analysis. What is this? Whenever you have saved, say for example, if you have any report format saved by previous reports, and those report formats you can, what is report format? Your colors and everything. Okay, in case you have already saved any report format, you can import here. And this one, okay, analysis properties. Okay, mostly whenever you get a free time, try to explore every box and see the options. You will see lot. OBIEE, you will not see anything great. There will be silly options. They will help a lot in different problem solutions. So when you go to results here, so no result setting means, what is this no result setting? Whenever there is no data coming into the report, so if you want to give, whenever there is no data showing in the report, so 2 questions will be coming into the mind. Whoever person seeing whether any error problem, or we really don't have any data. If there, I've given a condition where whose salary is greater than 10,000. I didn't see any data. 2 questions. One is, are there no employees with salary greater than 10,000? If there is no employee, then I am fine. Or any error. So whenever there is no data coming into the report, okay, no result set, you can pass on a message here. So that whenever this message if I see in the report, I will confirm that everything is fine, but there is no data which is satisfying my condition. Otherwise, I have to doubt it, whether it is error or not. So mostly by default, it will take the messages from the layouts that you might already know that, but we'll go there again. Okay, but if you want to keep your own, you can say. And interactions, we already seen. What is that interaction? What is interaction here? Yeah. So when by default drill up, down, across, and apart from that interaction is there. You can add more. That is actually whenever you say interaction, that is nothing but drill through. When I click this, what report I have to open on conditional basis or directly. So these are all related to that. So view runtime options, all interactions, drill, move columns, sort columns. What are the options you want to make enable in your interactions? Okay, it means that whenever from this report any new report getting opened as part of the interaction, so what are the features you want to choose there? So you want to sort, move column, everything you want to do, you can do. Okay, otherwise leave it. And then data. So display of columns added in the criteria. Display in existing and new views. Exclude from existing views. Okay, display of columns added in criteria tab. So what is criteria tab? This is the tab. Okay, so display of columns added in criteria. Display in existing and new views. Exclude from existing views but display in only new views. Now we have a report like this. If I go to criteria, if I add one more column here, that option will decide whether you want to add this column in every view or means right now I have already one view. Okay, that you know already. So when I add this column in this view, in the criteria tab, do you want this column to be replaced in existing every view or you want to show this in only in a new views? Okay, if I generally if I don't, let's say for example, if I add any column here in the criteria tab, so exclude from view existing views but display in new views only. If I select this, it will not be showing in this particular reports. It will show going further if you add anything. It will add it, but it will show in the bottom. That I will see in a layout. It will show in a layout again. But if I select this option here, sometimes maybe in the older version this used to be the default value. Right now I am deleting it one second. Okay, then placement of added members within the hierarchy, outside the hierarchy. So what is added members? Just now we have seen some groups created. So in the same way, member is also nothing but whatever groups I have created, that like that we can create any number of additional groups. Say department 10, department 20, department 30. On top of that, I can create a new group that is 10, including 10, 20, or including 20, 30, or including 10, 20, 30, everything together. So those are all called groups again, and again those groups will be created here. We can see that. Okay. So whenever you place any added members groups, where do you want to add them? So this is one small notice you can do, because in case anybody asking about these properties. Okay. So now this is common. Okay, and if you come here, so new calculated item and new group. So these are the again two new features in that. We already seen how they work in a previous selection steps. So again same thing is repeated here. So new calculated item. Say for example, to make it very clearly, I will remove this selection step so that. Create a new report. Okay, so I am selecting new calculated item here. Okay, so then now we know here mistake how much and then fun part how much and home view how much. So now I am going to say mistake plus fun part. I want to see what is the sum of both together. So now it is kind of when in the selection steps, okay, we have combined, how we have combined. So here it is creating a new column for us. So now mistake individually this much, fun part individually this much, home view this is individual. So putting mistake and fun part together how much? So this is putting together in the we have only communication the mistake, we don't have here. So this is equal to this. Electronics we have here, this is electronics. Okay, and we don't have any common LOB, so everything is showing. Okay, communication, electronics, okay, digital and games, everything putting together it will show in a mistake. That is all new calculated items. Okay, you can combine any other things if you want. In the same way, new group. So this is also we already seen new group. These are all called members or groups, whatever you have created extra. So this time I will choose home view and fun part. So now what is the difference from this to this? Both are showing in the same way. But what is the difference here? In calculated item, when I am showing this total revenue, in a measure, I am selecting this plus this. Okay, so if you don't want plus, you can say minus this. But whereas in a group member, okay, in a group, whatever new groups we are creating, it will just combine, it will sum up only as per the RPD. In RPD, whatever you are given a sum of revenue. So it will put together and then sum up. But in the calculated item, I can also create one more calculated item. Okay, so new calculated item. I can say mistake. So this is also this and this. Okay, this is also new calculated item. This is also new calculated item. But so this minus this it is doing. So calculated item can help calculating this plus this minus this. Okay, and what it will do based on the measures only, of course. Okay, but when it comes to the other one, okay, members or whatever selection steps we have done, so they can only combine the columns and all everything. Okay, they will not do any other thing. Now coming to here, okay, this is all we are next topic we are coming. I hope you already aware of this. I'll just walk through them. What is that and all. So these are the only thing. If anybody asking about the new features, calculated items and groups, selection steps, these are the new features here. This is refresh as usual, and this is your print options. Okay. So now when you go to print options here, whenever you are trying to take a printout of this report, okay, paper size, page size, people will ask, I want to take a report in a A4 size, how you take a printout? So you have a options controls here itself, and orientation you can say print rows all, okay, only visible means see it looks very silly, but I'll tell you how how interview questions will be mapped. I'll tell you how. So now if I ask a question, I have 1,000 reports, 1,000 records are there. How many reports will show? How many records will show here? let's say I have a 10,000 records in a report. So since you already know views, have you ever seen any property, how many number of records to be displayed in the report in one page? 25, or can we increase it? So it is looks the option. If I show the option, you will feel it is a very silly option. But if I ask you a question, you will feel the real usage of that. So now they'll ask you, okay, I have a 10,000 report, 10,000 records in a report, but I want to show only 25. Or say when I open a report, I have 50 records, but it is only showing 25. But I want to display all at a time. So in the views, we have an option how many number of records to be displayed in a report. So in the same way, if I ask you a question, I have a report, but when I take a printout, I have to take only first page printout. So this is how OBIEE questions will be there. First, if I see this property, you will not get any real benefit when you by looking at the property. But when you ask a question, you will see a real feel. Okay, why it is asked. So in case you want to take first page which is visible, okay, you can say print rows visible. Okay, hide margins. Okay, that is a common thing. And include header. If you want to keep your own header in a printer, okay, you can keep the header. These are all common properties. Footer, header, you can keep it. Okay, show how results look in a dashboard. Okay, when you place this report, how it is going to look in a dashboard. Okay, you can see here itself. That anyway you can place in the dashboard. Okay, and if you want to schedule a report, what is that schedule called? Yeah, so now generally tell me why you may have to schedule a report. So now the question will come this way. Schedule option is there. If I tell schedule means you can schedule a report, but the question will come in different way. I have a report. When I execute a report, these are the common questions. When I execute a report is taking 20 minutes time to execute a report. So my user means who generally view the data in the report, it says that when I click the report, it should come immediately. So what do you do? Schedule will help, or what way it will help? Scheduling only will help, or how to answer that? So now it is a question. So I have a report taking 20 minutes time, but the user says that I want to see it in 1 minute. I cannot spare a time. So what do you do? This is a very common question in every data analyzing interview. Huh? No, yeah. So if you divide that question into two parts, you are talking about the 50%. Your answer, because if you want to put whole together, no, forget about the cache. So now 50% is when you talk about the report level. I'll come to that next 50%. Since you already know you have completed everything. If I ask you this question, what should be the answer? Your answer. So first is problem statement is my report is taking longer time. So first, what should I do now? This is called performance tuning. What is that you have to do? First step is why this report is taking time. So what is the first thing I need to go and check? Because this is very standard interview question. So now report is problem statement is report is taking time. So what is the first step I need to do? Why cache? Go and take the physical SQL. I keep a cache example. Okay, but two things you need to check first. What is the problem here? Why the report is taking time, we need to check. So I'm telling everything so that where this will come into fit, and then we'll see later. So first of all, you have to pick up your physical SQL and see how much time it is taking on the database. So when I execute this report on the database, okay, your report is taking half an hour time. So it is a real correct query or any challenges in the query. If anything can be tuned, okay, first that is the step you need to take. Take the SQL and tune the SQL. Why I do need to tune? Why I need to check SQL? So I need to join two tables in a report. But you did a wrong model. So there are 4 more extra tables coming. The unwanted tables are added in the SQL. So you have to check whether your SQL is proper or not. If that SQL is proper, okay, and if SQL is not proper, tune your SQL first. If that SQL is problem because of your RPD design, you have to change your RPD design. Okay, then tuning again, that is a different story. How to pick up the SQL query execution plan and all. That's why Oracle basic SQL nobody will ask in interviews. SQL tuning and bit advanced only 10 questions you have to be careful in the Oracle. Nobody will ask the basic SQL. Okay, so that's why focus on SQL performance tuning. Because for OBIEE people, your life will be performance tuning only. So validate it, and if SQL is 100% fine, okay, I don't have anything to be tuned in the SQL, and because I'm reading so many volumes regards from SQL, so it is taking 20 minutes. SQL is 100% right. I did all the cares which need to be taken care on SQL, and even after doing all these things, if I execute SQL, taking 20 minutes time, means everything is fine. I cannot do anything more with respect to the SQL. And because you are reading so many volumes from the database and 4 or 5 tables you have joined, so it is taking 20 minutes time. So now 20 minutes time means we cannot do anything. If there is any SQL problem, sometimes mostly the problem will be solved by solving the SQL. SQL is taking 20 minutes time. If I solve my SQL problem, tune it or redesign RPD, it may come in 1 minute. That is one set. I don't need to, if that is coming in 1 minute, then I don't need to think about anything. Second part, SQL I have done everything, but still it's taking 20 minutes time. I don't have to do anything in the report side, RPD side, because SQL is taking 20 minutes. So now you will talk about the second part, what we are discussing now. So when I say here, now when I click a report, SQL is fine because of the volumes it is taking 20 minutes time. So how you tune it? So now whatever we are discussing is the solution. So when user comes and execute a report, your report starts now. That's why it is taking 20 minutes time. So what is that you can recommend now? Yeah, you will schedule it. How you have to schedule? Before user comes and read the data, as soon as your data loaded into data warehousing database, you schedule your report to execute. Whatever time it is, you are done. Let's say user will come to office morning 6 o'clock, but you schedule this report at 4 o'clock. Let it run to. So scheduling is the only option here. If I just schedule it, it will help, or what is that actually we need to verify? Cache has to be enabled. If cache is not there, if you schedule a report, no use. Cache should be enabled and schedule a report so that it will run 4 o'clock your report. Since there is a cache, so your report data will be there in the cache. So next time if I go to office morning 6 o'clock, if I open this report, since your cache is already there for your report, it will come in 1 second. So that's why scheduling means nobody will ask you what is scheduling, how schedule. Last you have a report taking too much time, tell me what do you do. Don't tell me only scheduling option. Scheduling and the last option. Everything is working, everything is going fine. Because of my hardware problem, it's very less hardware, more volumes, and I am not able to do further anything to lower the query performance time, query execution time, then this is the last option. So that you can do here. When you say schedule, who will do the scheduling? In OBIEE, who will do the scheduling? Have you finished the agents or still pending? No, agents, did Naresh told agents? So who will do the scheduling part? schedule. For scheduling purpose, yeah, scheduling purpose will schedule it, but in OBIEE, which person will take care of your scheduling? In other way, straight question, which server will take care of your scheduling? And how can you monitor whether it is running or not? So scheduling will be taken care by, what are the servers we know so far? BA server. And what else? Presentation server. And what else? Huh? BA server you know, presentation server you know. And then? What is OBIEE? What are the servers we have in OBIEE? BA server you know, presentation server you know. What else? Java host you know. And then? Yeah, publisher you know. Yeah, publisher is right, I'll come to that, but slight different. What? Just list out what else you have. You have by one server by name BI scheduler. The name itself there. That's why if your scheduler is not running, you will not be in a position to schedule your report. At least in 11G, when you start OBIEE software, everything will be automatically running, every server. But in the 10G, scheduler will not run automatically. You have to run it manually, and there is a separate process for that. So be a scheduler. And how can you monitor what is running on a scheduler? So now I have scheduled it. So scheduler is running, and it will take the responsibility of who has to run what time. So how can I go and watch whether my report is running or not? Question will come. So I scheduled 20 reports. Tell me, how can I know which is failed, which is not failed? She scheduled a report to run in today 4 o'clock. Is it 100% confirmed that it will run every day? It is our duty whether it is completed or not. Anything can happen. Let's say there is a problem, okay, and then how it. So in this way only there will be 1-2 questions. Okay, just I'm expanding this question because I'm giving a heads up how your preparation should be there. I scheduled a report and then tomorrow I need to watch it. So why it may fail sometimes? I'm giving one example. We have created one report and then I scheduled it. Every day run at 4 o'clock. So in this report I have 4 columns. Currently I have 4 columns are there, and this user is running this report. Do you know what is data object level security? What is object level security? Subject area or only subject area or any object, table, column. So now 4 reports. She has access on 4 columns today. I schedule this report. From the back side, what I have done means I got a request or accidentally anything. So I have created a report for and now I am able to execute it. Today what I have done, I went to RPD and I removed one permission on one column to this user. So what happens to your report? You can go and search out because this answer is pending from my end. I didn't give answer. You don't know the solution because this topic is still pending. 2-3 options are pending. But you go and search it. This is how question comes. I have a report, 4 columns, and it is scheduled to run every day. But I went and removed permission on one column. So this guy has to tell. You senior guys have to tell me because you know this. So for these guys we didn't discuss. So we can do this actually. The topic is still pending. We'll discuss. Impersonation. No. No, it is a property. One of the property in the NKS config file. We'll discuss it at a security level. But why that question comes, so I'm just telling. The answer we have to discuss. Okay, but the question why comes scheduling monitoring means today it may fail or it may successful. We can make it two. Okay, that property will set in a project. Okay, project inaccessible columns. Okay, true false will null true or false. One property that I'll show you later. So based on the inaccess column property null or not null, your report may execute or may fail. Okay, so for that we want to watch, monitor every report whether you schedule whether it's successfully executed or not. That will do in a job manager. So that's why whenever scheduler, job manager. So we know why catalog manager. What will do in catalog manager? Moving the copy, okay, your code catalog from one to other and managing that. What job manager does? Job manager can help monitor your jobs. What is the job? Everything what you schedule is a job. Okay, anything which you schedule here, that you can see in the job manager. Okay, it will show whether it's successful or not, what time it is proposed to run, all that you can see there. Link is there. You have a tool, direct tool, job manager. Anyway, that agents topic, I'll come to this. Okay, so this is one, but in agent is nothing but your complete scheduling only. So I'll show there how it will. And this finally, if you want to export any report to any of the format, you can export it. And the printable, whatever. So these are all basic high level properties. Okay, so now quickly we need to get into views and filters. We are done, everything is done. Since you already know views, I'll quickly show you how the views work. So every time when you create a report, by default, okay, you will see this output. We don't know, we'll immediately go and see some output here. And that is a subject area we know. This is a catalog, means where catalog means structure, folder. In other way, in Windows, it is a Windows Explorer. And you will see one section views here, and these are the columns we added here. Every time when you create a report, by default, in what format your output has to be visible to you. Okay, and for that you have something called views. View means it is not our database view. Means how do you want to see, how do you want to view your report? So there are n number of views here. When you see this, by default, whenever you create this one, you will see one view called table. This is called table view. And by default, you will have something called title. These are the two things. You can rearrange them in whatever format you want. Okay, so this is one view, this is one view. So whenever you create any report, it will create what are the default views created in OBIEE when you create a report? Table and heading, title. Okay, so and everything is called individual view, but right now if you see there are two views are available in the report. So if you want to put more than one view and then group together, and the view which is holding all other views is called compound view. So if you see the top one, so you see something called compound view. Compound means it is a group of all the views. You have one view and other view and then putting together. So what are the views right now available in your report if you want to see? If you come down here, you can see what are the views right now available here. So right now, one and second. If you notice, if you do not want any view not to be available in the report, you can just go and delete this. So when you say delete in the report, it is not permanently delete. You can still see that in the left side. And the table view, at least we need one view that is there. So I deleted it, means you have opted to not to show in your compound layout, but it is still there here. But if you want to permanently delete, you have to go and delete from here. Then it will permanently delete. And if you want to add this view to your report, you can just click this button and then it will be added somewhere. You can see and you can rearrange. You can place a view and then you can rearrange view. So now what is the title view? So each and every view will show help to display your information in different formats or in different types. First title, what title will do is one of the easiest way. Okay, you can see what title you want to keep, means report heading. So what you can do in a title, in a real report when you are developing, what you can place in a title? The second option. Logo, every company, when you take any printout, prepaid, postpaid or any bill, what will we see in the report? Logo will be there. So if you want to keep your organization logo, you can place that image path here. It will display that logo there. Okay. Title, subtitle are normal. Okay. And started time. Okay. You can also display what time your report started. Help URL. Okay. Mostly people will prefer this logo and then help URL. What is help URL? I have created a report. Okay. And I'm seeing that data in the report. But when I see that report, let's say for example, I am a new person. I just came here. I'm trying to see this data. Have the data, everything is here. Okay, but what can I understand from this report? So brand wise, OBIEE total revenue and here data is there. So now if I say, what is the total revenue? Means it is total revenue. So this revenue includes, okay, your negative revenues, or maybe in a best way, let me take other column. Total units. So when I say this report, you have the information, okay. Total units, okay, is the column we have here. So now I have a question here. When I say total units, it is also including cancelled orders. Units means how many number of orders placed. Whether it include cancelled orders, okay, whether it is included return orders. Example, I'll tell you why. So now in one day there is one order placed, okay, order O1. So total orders placed were 100. But next day for same order there are minus 10. Means they have cancelled 10 orders. What is the total net order? 90. So sometimes we may ask, show me the total orders without including the cancel order, so that I will know that this is the total order, this is the cancel. So now I don't have a clarity here what report and what is this content. That's why people will create documentation in the form of XML and will try to link that help related to this report in the help URL. So what is this report all about? What is this report is giving? If anybody try to understand what way you can understand the report, so that report information people will keep in a HTML format and then give it over here. Okay, that is called a help URL. Very helpful for the people who actually try to view the report and all. Because if I can tell her, maybe she will remember today, but with her busy schedule, after 6 months when she come and then open a report, she can't understand what is there in the report. If I am regularly using, I know, but I can forget. That's why it will give a information what is actually this is giving, so that I can understand, anybody can understand. Okay, that is the report. So then the next one is a title, a table. Okay, whenever you want to edit any view, you can just click on edit and then it will take you, and this is a lot of things are there in this view. There are a lot of new features. Okay, so let's give high level today. So right now you will see the section. What are the columns to be there and what should be there in this section, what should be there in the table format, and what should be not available in your report. Say for example, I don't want to see total revenue. You can do excluded. So this was only available in the other views, but this excluded topic recently introduced in OBIEE 11. It was not there earlier. So we used to, whatever is there used to show completely. There is no option for us to select into excluded R section or table. So this option, and this option was not there in any of the other version. Okay. So whenever you want to don't want to show any column, you can add into excluded. But one thing always notice, when you add any column in the excluded section, that column will be still there in the report SQL. Okay, column will be there in the SQL, but only thing is it will not visible. That's all. Okay, so that will continue tomorrow next. Okay, so I think to try to explore the views completely, I'll go it fast tomorrow. Only one view important is pivot is important. Remaining all I'll just scan.